Hello, my name is Nicola Spencer, and in this video I will be discussing my experience with cross-cultural communication while on the ISP2019 study tour to Da Nang University of Technology. Cross-cultural communication can be defined as the attempts that are made to exchange, negotiate, and mediate cultural differences by means of language, gestures, and body language. It is how people belonging to different cultures communicate with each other. Communication with Da Nang locals was necessary in all parts of the study tour. Besides needing to obtain daily necessities such as food, effective cross-cultural communication was essential for collaboration and relationship building with the DUT students, as well as being essential for spreading the message of sustainability to other members of the Da Nang community. Understanding and appreciating the cultural history of Da Nang was key to effective cross-cultural communication with the DUT students and other Da Nang residents. By understanding the history, I gained confidence that my mannerisms and what I was saying was generally not going to offend or upset the people I was talking to. With offense taken, animosity may grow in the place of a positive relationship. Furthermore, demonstrating some knowledge and interest in the culture was generally received well and therefore increased the likelihood of a positive relationship forming. Visiting Da Nang Museum is an example of cross-cultural communication in which the artifacts, being essentially visual objects, are communicating the history of Da Nang to the viewers. This form of communication was quite effective, and I learnt there that the Vietnam or American War is still a very sensitive topic and so should be talked about minimally and in a sensitive manner. By visiting the pagoda, I learnt not only that Buddhism is the majority religion in Da Nang, but was able to observe the reverence with which the people of Da Nang practice Buddhism. This provided a topic of discussion which many of the students were happy and proud to talk about, and provided me with an insight into the customs I observed. In Australia, perhaps by understanding the background to other people's culture, we will all be on the way to building positive relationships despite our differences. I did not speak any Vietnamese coming into the trip, so relied on the DUT students speaking English in order for us to communicate. Initially, both parties had some difficulty understanding each other. There were multiple occasions during a conversation where either person had to ask the other to repeat what they had said. I spoke English too quickly and with an Australian accent, and was unfamiliar with the students' strong Vietnamese accents. Soon though, I learnt to speak more slowly and clearly, and got used to the students' accents, so verbal communication was only a slight issue on the first day or so. In the introductory conversations with the DUT students, we were able to find common ground on and discuss what we were studying, how old we were, and our families, etc., which built a foundation on which to grow our relationship. Furthermore, the DUT English Club were very enthusiastic about learning and practicing their English, and organised an afternoon of activities and conversation practice. These communication skills are applicable in Australia when speaking to visitors from overseas, and there are groups where you can help people practice their English in Melbourne. The sustainability posters we made are examples of visual communication of sustainability. It was important for us to not only ensure the sustainability posters presented appropriate ideas, but to ensure that the imagery we were using would be interpreted by the Vietnamese students in the way we had intended in the context. For example, burning leaves in the context of sustainability is a very negative practice which causes damages to the environment. However, many Vietnamese students were not aware of this, and it is generally perceived as a positive and normal practice. Therefore, in order to educate the students, we had to put leaf burning in a clearly negative context, as the students might not automatically associate this with unsustainability. The intended audience always needs to be kept in mind when making any presentation, to communicate your message in the way it was intended, especially across different cultures. For communicating with Da Nang locals, body language, holding up fingers, and pointing was necessary to communicate, as many locals, like shopkeepers and taxi drivers, did not have strong English. If a conversation needed to take place, apps such as Google Translate were very helpful and were able to facilitate a translated conversation. In this modern world of technology, these methods can only improve to assist with cross-cultural communication. This study tour was a great experience. Thank you to Swinburne University of Technology Francois, Tu, and the Da Nang University of Technology for organising and facilitating this experience. I definitely feel like I have improved my cross-cultural communication skills and am looking forward to using them in my own life in Melbourne and on future overseas trips.